Okay, fine. Right. In previous class we have seen that CSS locator, and right, we have different types of locators. Eight types of locators. Out of eight, we have seen seven locators. That's by ID, class, attribute. Right, which one we have seen? Sorry. By ID, name, link test, partial link test, class name, tag name, CS. Right. These seven types we have seen, and one more important one today we will see XPath. Right. One more locator to identify the elements. Right. Fine. Okay, fine. I'll identify and create an account. Okay. For this, if I want to identify, first we need to right open the developer console. Right. If you want to identify the locators, we need to open the developer console either by right click and inspect, or you can click on F12 also. It will open. Right, next we have to click on the arrow symbol, and then suppose I want to enter the text in the email. Alright, if it has ID, we can go with directly ID. Right, we don't require any CSS or export. Right, if it has a ID, directly we can go with. Right, first of all, alright, we'll see. Right, we'll see this later. Right, what is the XPath syntax? Right, XPath syntax. What is that? Right, CSS has one syntax, and XPath also has one syntax. Right, it has a basic syntax is slash slash, right, a tag name, slash slash tag name, square brackets, right, at the rate, attribute key equal to either single quotes or double quotes, attribute value, right, slash slash tag name, square brackets, and at the rate, attribute key equal to single quotes, attribute value, and close the square. Right, in XPath, we have two types of XPath. Right, we have two types of XPath. One is the absolute XPath, and one more is a relative XPath. Absolute XPath and relative XPath. What is absolute XPath? Right, XPath which will start from the root node. Right, and XPath will start from the root node. Root node means always root node will be HTML. Right, HTML is the root node for all. Right, then we can go with like body, right, like the right, like this we have to go. Suppose if I want to identify input tag from the root node. Suppose if we take right, suppose I want to identify this email. Right, if I want to use the absolute XPath, right, if I want to, I have to come from the root node. What is the root node here? HTML, and then body. Inside a body again, div tag, then div tag. Right, we have to confirm at each tag, and that means what we have to do? We have to do parent, then child, then child, then child, then child. We have to give like that. Right. If you want to follow the absolute expert. Right. If you want to get the absolute expert, we can right click, copy full expert. Right. This is the absolute expert of that email. Right. Slash HTML body div of one, div of four, div. And we have to follow parent, child, like that. We have to follow each and every node. Now, what is the drawback of it? Right. Suppose in middle, any tag was developers they have removed or updated. Suppose new tag is added in between. What will happen? This will break. There are more chances of failing test case. Right. If we use the absolute export, there are more chances of failing our test cases. If anything added in between the right in between, suppose the developer added one more tag or deleted or updated, right? What will happen? This absolute XPath will fail. Absolute XPath will start from the root node, right? It has a single slash. It will start from the root node and follow parent, child order. Right? What is the drawback of it? If anything is added or updated, deleted in between, right nodes, it is a there are more chances of failing the test cases. So we will not follow this absolute XPath. Right? Very rare scenarios. Right? We will not follow this absolute XPath. Will follow always relative XPath. Right, a relative XPath will start with the slash slash. Slash slash means anywhere. Directly it will go to that email. Suppose the email, right? We are looking for the email. Then what we will do slash slash. Right, suppose by using the uh, slash slash. What is the syntax of it? Input at the rate at ID equal to email. Right, directly we will use slash slash means it will find out anywhere in the DOM, document object model, correct? Anywhere in the DOM, correct? Directly slash slash means directly it will come input slash slash input. It will verify all the input tags which has ID email, right? It will verify all the input tags which has ID email, right? So there is less chances of failing test cases. Right, IDs are mostly unique. Right, there is no chance of modifying, very rare chances to modify. Right, so we always follow the relative X path. Right, absolute and the relative X path. Right, and then we have a in the X path also, like CSS, we have a multiple combination. Here also we will have multiple combination. Okay. Right, if I want to identify it in the console itself, right, what do we have to do? Control slash slash input. Right, at the rate. We'll have to do the at the rate ID equal to email. Right, at the rate ID equal to right. It is identified. This is a single attribute. Right. This is a single attribute. But basically, right, when we will go for ID, right, well, XPath, sorry, XPath, right, XPath is the least preference. That means I am unable to identify by using above seven locators, seven types of locators. Right, then only I will go for XPath. Right, because XPath will take more time to identify the element because it has to traverse each and every element. Right, basically it will traverse each and every element and then find the element. It will take little time. Right. So first preference is ID name. Right, then class name, tag name, then CSS. Finally, I am unable to identify by using these seven locators. Then only I will go for XPath. Right. My first choice is not XPath. Right. My first choice is not XPath. Right. My last choice is the XPath. So, this is a single attribute. Right, sometimes with a single attribute we cannot identify. Right, then we can go for multiple attributes. Here, some mm, we can add type equal to email. Right, we have to add at the rate. We should not forget at the rate type equal to email. Right, and here we can use either or. What is our scenario? I want to identify tag name either email or ID. Do I want both the elements or only one element? If I use and suppose, if I use and suppose, what will happen? What is the meaning of and? The input tag. It will search all the input tags which has a type email and ID. Type email and ID. Such type of elements it will find out. Right, such right. And means both. Both attributes should contain this input tag should contain both the attributes, type and ID. Both the attributes. Suppose if I give an R, suppose if I have given R, right, the input tags which can contain either type attribute or ID attribute. Suppose if multiple are identified, multiple it will return. Right, with this combination, R means anyone. Right, either it contains any one, either type or email. It will return all those elements. Suppose type equal to text if I have given. See how many are there? Three elements are matched. Because these are type equal to text. Right, this input is type equal to text. So we are saying find out the all the input tags which has a attribute type equal to text or ID equal to email. Anyone. Right. Input tag should contain any one of it. Either both. That is fine. Right. It will return. And means it should contain both. R means anyone. Right. R means anyone. Right. Like CSS, we have a starts with ends with contains. Right. Substring matches. In XPath also we have starts with, but in XPath we don't have ends with. Right. We have only starts with and then contains. Right. Starts with and contains. We don't have a ends with in the expert. Right. Suppose that we will take this field. Right. We can identify any field, attribute. Right. Any attribute. Suppose if I take this attribute. Right. We have to give the at the rate. Right. We will forget easily this one. So always expert attribute key will have a at the rate. Okay. Fine. Okay. Once. Okay. Fine. Email address. Now, if you want to starts with or ends with, I want to use starts with or ends with. Right, where I have to give right before the attribute. Before the attribute, we have to use suppose starts with starts hyphen with square brackets. Right. I have to give the starts with at the rate. Okay, I think we have to starts with. um, we have to close this. Right, like this. This is the sentence. Right. What is the syntax? Slash slash tag name square brackets. We have to give the function. Right. Starts with function. Inside function like a method name only. Right. This is like a method. Java method name. Like a here function. Right. Square brackets. We have to give the two arguments. One is that first one is right key attribute key. Second one comma and then value. What is the starts with? Right. Here we can use starts with either email. Right, we can use email. Right, if we, any scenarios, if we want dynamic locators, right, we want to identify the dynamic locators. Right, end point, right, end portion, suppose sometimes it is changing dynamically, but starting position prefix is a constant. Prefix is constant. In those cases, we will go for starts with. Right, starts with function. Starts with, we have to give the attribute key and then what is the starting word of it. Right. Similarly, contents. Contents means anywhere. Right. Suppose same thing we can do contents. Contents. This attribute should contain email. Right. Either starting position or ending position or in middle. Anywhere. Contains means it will verify entire string. It should contain email. Right. Entire attribute. Right. Entire attribute value. Entire attribute value. It should contain email. Anywhere it should contain. Right. Starts with means only it should start with. Contains means anywhere. Either start position, end position, or middle position. Right. One more. Okay, we'll see normal space later. Then we will see text. Right. Text. Right. Here in XPath we don't have ends with. Only starts with contains. Right. If you want ends with, we have to go for CSS. Right. Then we will see text. Right. Sometimes I want to find out elements by using the text. By using the text. Hmm, suppose if we don't have. Okay, fine. See, uh, this button, I want to identify this button, register or clear button, register button. Suppose I want to identify register button. Right. It don't have any unique thing. Basically, first thing, right. If you try to identify, suppose class. Right. Suppose I want to identify class BTN. Let's see how many identified. 12 elements are identified. With this class, 12 elements are there. So I cannot use that. Right? Maybe you try to suppose you might try with type equal to submit. Type equal to submit. Then what is that? Slash slash button at the rate type equal submit. How many are there? Two are there. With the type equal to submit, it is identifying two elements. Right, I cannot use this also. Right, then what we can do here, text is there. Right, there is a text register or clear. Right, by using text, we can identify the elements. Suppose slash slash button. Here we have to use the text function. Text equal to single quotes register. Right, like this. Text equal to register. Sometimes what will happen? There will be suppose I am giving some spaces. At start and end, at start and end, there might be some spaces. In those cases, what will happen? This will not work out. Let's say 0 of 0. Now it is not identified because the text contains some spaces before and after. Right. To remove these spaces, right, then we will go for normalize space. This is one more function, normalize space. Right. Normalize space we have to give for the text. Normalize space only for the text. That's it. Up to text only we have to keep it. Let's say now it is identified. That means what it will do, normalize space, it will remove the spaces starting and end position. And we have to give normalize space. What is the attribute? Here we can give anything, text or ID, right, or class. Suppose ID contains spaces. I want to remove spaces. Right, we can give at the rate ID. Right, at the rate class. Right, we can use like that also. Right, normalize space text equal to register. It will remove the starting and end position spaces. Right, that is one thing. Text and the normalize space. Alright, if anyone have any doubts, you can ask, no issues. Right, then next one is the index. Right, next one is index. Suppose type equal to submit. Now, here, how many are identified? Two elements are identified. Two elements are identified. Right, now I want, types of, right, a register button. First one, I want a first one. Right, I want a first one, I want to identify. I want to take the first one. Right, there is no other way. I am unable to identify uniquely. Right, sometimes we cannot identify uniquely. Right, more than one element. My locator is returning more than one element. Right, out of which I can pick one. Out of which I want to pick one. Right, how to pick one by using the index concept. Here we can give square bracket, open and close square bracket, and then we can do suppose I want a first one, but still not working. See? Right, still not working. What we have to do in this case? Go to starting position, open the bracket, open the parenthesis, come to end, close the parenthesis. Right, give the entire XPath inside a parenthesis. Then open close square brackets. Open close square brackets. We can give suppose now if I give one, it's still not work. Alright. In this website it is not work. This is a Right, only we will see in another one. This is a dummy website that we will see here. Okay. Input at the rate type equal to something text. Type equal to text. Right now, how many are coming? Two are coming. Again, now we will see same thing we will apply here. Square bracket. Right. It is giving two. Still two are coming. Good. Okay, now we have to give the parentheses. So open and close parentheses, starting and ending. Right now, if you see, only one is identified. Only one. Suppose if I want second one, we can give the two. Right, second one, two. If I want third one, three. Right, index starts from one, one, two, three. Suppose there are functions also there. Right? So last we can use last one. Suppose if I want, right, we can give the last. Right, for first two we have first. I think first we don't have anything. Right, last we have last. Right, if we want, suppose if I want a, we can also apply minus one. Right, last but one. I want a last but one. Right, like this, last minus one, last minus two, like this also we can apply. Right, right, index by using the index. Sometimes, right, we cannot identify uniquely. In those cases, we can go for using index. Right, the next one is one more important XPath axis. Right, XPath axis. Right, what is XPath axis? Right, sometimes what will happen? I cannot identify element directly. Right, I cannot identify element directly. Okay, Master. Right. Suppose if we go here, right, if we take this first last name, first name, right, I want to enter the text here. Right, suppose say it don't have any ID or class. Suppose if you take a name, it multiple elements have same name. Type also multiple elements have same type equal to text. Right, in this case, we don't have any unique attribute to identify it. Right, in those cases, what, right, based on what, right, other element, we will identify this next element based on some other element. Suppose first I will identify this label. Based on this label, I will identify this input. Right, like that. Right, because directly we are unable to identify element. Right, directly I am unable to identify element. In those cases, what we will do by using the child class, right? By using the parent or child or siblings, we can identify whatever element we want. Right? Sometimes directly we cannot identify the element. In those cases, by using the parent or child, right? By using the parent or child, we can identify the required element. That is called by using XPath access. Right? By using the XPath access, we can find out required element. Right? Suppose HTML. This is the parent element. Right? This is called a parent. Right? Under this multiple, it can have. Right? It can have a body. It can have a div tag. Right? It can have a form tag. Right. Under this again, body, suppose body has a again child tag, that means input tag. Suppose input, and then it has a button. It has a button. And also suppose this div has input tag. Right. This form has a answer tag. Right. HTML is the parent, body, div, form are child tags of the HTML. Right. Child tags of HTML. Then again, body has a two more childs, input and button. Right. We got it right. HTML is the parent. For suppose if we take a last one, right? Suppose if we take a this last one, input. What is the parent for input tag? Body. What is the right? This input tag. What is the parent? Body. Right. Similarly, suppose if we take a this input, right? Suppose if we take this input, what is the parent of it? Div tag. Right? Div tag. Suppose if I take a form tag, what is the parent of it? Form tag HTML. Right? What is the child of this div tag? Input. Right? Parent and child are directly, we can identify easily. Right? Parent and child. Right? These two are fine. Parent and child, we can directly identify. Right? By looking at. Now, two more important, following sibling, preceding sibling. Right? Following sibling, preceding sibling. What are siblings? Right? If you take our family, right? Our brothers and sisters are siblings. Right? Right? Siblings. Here also, same level. Same level of elements are called siblings. Right. Under this parent, we have child. These are all same level. Right. These three called siblings. Or these two are called siblings. Right. Same level of elements are called siblings. Suppose if I take these three. Right. These three. Suppose if we take a div tag. For div tag, body is the preceding sibling. Body is the preceding sibling. Form is the following sibling. Right. That means above one. Right. This one, left side of things, we will call it as a preceding siblings. Right side of following siblings. Right. Preceding and following. Suppose if we take a first one. For first one, there is no preceding. Right. There is no preceding sibling. Only following siblings. Right. It has only. Right. Right. It has only following siblings. Suppose if we take a last one. Alright, suppose if you take a last one. Last one don't have following sibling. Only it has a preceding sibling. Right. Like our elder brother, right, younger brothers. Right. Sometimes if you take, you don't have a right elder brothers, maybe only younger brothers you have. Right. Like our family only. Right. Relationship. Following and preceding siblings. Right. Following and preceding siblings. Same level of elements are siblings. Right. Same level of elements we will call it as a siblings. Right. If we take one element, right side are called following sibling, left side are called preceding. But actually, if we go to in the DOM structure, right, we don't have any left and right. Right, we will have a above and below. Right, basically, we will have above and below. Suppose, yeah, suppose if we will go to the sub image, that's it. All these allies are right. All these allies are right. All these allies are siblings. Right. These are all same level of elements. Same level of elements. These are all siblings. Right. Suppose if I take this, right, this is the my current element. Right, above one are called preceding sibling, below one are called following sibling. Right, if I take any element, above one are called preceding sibling, below one are called following sibling. Right. If I take a suppose first one, right, if I take a first one, what will happen? There is no first one don't have preceding sibling. Right. It don't have preceding sibling. First one, only following sibling. Suppose if I take a last one, it don't have following, it will have only preceding. Right, if I take a middle one, right, it will have both preceding and following siblings. Right, that is how following and preceding. Right, we will use mostly parent and child, following and preceding. Right, sometimes we will use the ancestor descendant, the ancestor and descendant. Right, what are ancestor and descendant? Okay, suppose if I take this input type, right, it has a parent. Parent is what? Body. And grandparent. Right? Grandparent. What? HTM. Right? Grandparent. HTM. All the parent tags are called ancestor. All the parent. Input has a parent, body, and HTM. Suppose if we take a button. Button has a body and HTM. Right? All the parents are called ancestors. Right? Suppose this input has one more. Right? Suppose this input has one more child. Right, this input has a one more child, something label. Right, for label, what is the parent input? Grandparent and their parent. Right, all the parent or ancestors. Suppose I want all the parents of label. Right, I want all the parents of the label. Then we will use the ancestor. If you use the ancestor, then it will return input tag, body tag, HTML tag. All the parent tags. Right, all the parent tags are called ancestors. Right, suppose. Mm, okay, github.com. I will take this. Okay, I will identify first. Read this email. Right, this is the input tag. Right, what is the parent tag of this input? Parent tag of input auto check. Then auto check has parent div. What is the parent of this div? Again div. What is the parent of it? Again div. Right, what is the parent of it? Form tag. Right, form tag again it has a div. Right, these are all the parents are called. All the parents are called ancestors. Alright, if I want to get the ancestors for the some particular element, then we will use the ancestor. Descendant means childs. Descendant means childs. HTML have, suppose I want all the descendants of HTML. Right, these are all descendants only. Right, suppose only body. Right, suppose if I want only descendants of body. Descendants of body means input button label. These three. Right, all the childs of it. Right, suppose only for form. I want descendants. Only A is the descendant. Right, if we take a HTML, all are childs of HTML, descendant. Right, all the childs are called descendant. If we want to get all the childs, then we will go for descendant. Right, then two more are there. We will not use, but what are these? Following and preceding. Following and preceding. Suppose you come here. Okay, come here. Now this is the input tag. I want to suppose this is the input tag. For this input tag, I want if I apply all the following elements, I want all the following. That means what? All the below elements, right? All the below elements, all the below elements are following. If I want all the below elements of the current element, sorry, suppose okay, this, and then I want all the below elements, right? All the below elements for the current element. From the current element, I want all the below elements. Okay, then we can use the following. Suppose if I want all the above elements, all the above elements, then we will go for preceding. Right? Then we will go for preceding. Right? Following means from the current element, I want all the below elements. That is following. Preceding means all the above elements. Right? These are the XPath axes. Very important. Child, parent, preceding, following. Then how to use it. Right? Just we have a theoretical part. Then how to use this. Yeah, right. First we will say parent and child. Right. We identify first form type. Right. I want a form type. First we will identify form. Okay, fine. One of one. Alright, we have only one form. Now I want all the childs of the form type. Right. Now I want all the childs of form type. Then we can use the slash child colon star. That means what? It will return all the child tags of the form. All the child tags of the form. Child colon star. It will return all the child tags of the form. Suppose I want particular elements only. I want only input. Right? Then we can give input. Right? How many are there? Four. Right? I want only input tags. Then we will give input. Suppose we want in input also particular one. If we have any attribute, we can also use then again XPath, right? This is the XPath. So we should not combine XPath and CSS. Right? We have to give input. Suppose I want this one. Right? ID return to. Suppose. Alright. Okay. ID at the rate. ID equal to. Right. Right. Then when we will go for these syntaxes, if we are unable to identify element directly, you are unable to identify element directly, then only we will go for XPath access. Right. Based on one element, we can identify our required element. Right. Based on by using either parent or child or sibling. Right. By using other element, we will identify the required element. Right. Child. Child means we can type the child colon and then what type of elements we want. Right. Similarly, if I want to want it, there is a shortcut for the childs. Slash star. Right. We no need to type child colon star. Directly slash star. Right. It will give all the child elements of the form tag. All the child tags of the form. Suppose I want only input. Slash input. Single slash input. Single slash means right. Direct childs. Right. It will give direct childs. Suppose if we take right slash input. Right. Okay, we'll see that. I will explain later. Okay. Suppose slash input means it will identify all the. Suppose if I give slash star means all types of elements. Right. This form has either input, it has a div also. But see, it is not identifying inside elements. Right. Only parent. Right. Inside a form tag direct childs. That means not inside. Div has again childs. Right. Suppose div has h2. It is not identified that. Right. Only direct childs of it. Right. Not grandchilds. Only childs. Right. Suppose if I want all the childs, right? How many identified here? You remember 11. Right. 11 are there. Suppose I want all the childs of the form. Right. Whether it is a direct or indirect. That means a child, a grandchild. Right. All the childs I want. Slash slash. Now see how many are identified? 1618. Right. 1618 identified. Right. It will identify all the direct and indirect childs also. Right. If we give slash means single slash means a direct childs, not the grandchilds. That is the difference. Right. Whenever you are using slash means direct childs. Double slash means childs and their childs also. Right. Then suppose I want to move from the form tag to form to their parent. Suppose form tag to parent tag. Right. What is the parent of form div tag? How I want to move to that? Slash parent colon. If we give particular parent, right? I want to immediate parent, right? It is moved to say parent. Now the cursor is highlighting close this. This is the tag. Right? Parent div. First we have to give the XPath access, whatever, right? Parent, child, following sibling, preceding sibling, then and the element. Right? If I want to move to parent, right? Then parent, what is the tag? Right? Direct parent. I cannot move to right. I want to move to third parent, fourth parent. I cannot move. Only above parent, immediate parent. If I want to move again parent, then again you can give parent colon again one more div. Right. Parent also have a shortcut. Like child we have shortcut. Parent also we have slash dot. Right. Slash it will go to parent. Suppose again I want to move to one more parent above. I want to move to one more parent above slash dot. Right, if we give like that, it will move one parent above. Right, one parent. Yep. Right. Similarly, following sibling, preceding sibling. Uh, right, we will go here. Okay. Right, first I will identify this is debut tag. Okay, this is anchor tag. Anchor tag. How to identify? It has a some ID. Okay. So what happened? Right, this anchor tag. It has some ID. Right. Now slash a square brackets at the rate. Right. Now I am here. Okay. Now it don't have any siblings. Right. A don't have any siblings. Li has siblings. Li has siblings. Right now, I want to move to first. I want to move to parent. Right. Parent as a div. Then I want to move to again parent L. That slash dot dot slash dot. Right now, it has a siblings. It has a following sibling, preceding sibling. That following siblings, preceding siblings. Now I want suppose preceding siblings. Right. Now preceding sibling. Preceding hyphen sibling colon colon L. Right. I have all the six elements. Right. Preceding means above. Right. Suppose if I want all the above siblings. Suppose I want all the below siblings. Then following following sibling. Following sibling, it will identify all the below siblings. Right. Preceding means above siblings. First we have to identify current element. Right. From the current element, we can go with siblings. Right. Above means preceding sibling, below means following siblings. Right. Suppose, right, suppose I am here. Right. And in this anchor tag. Now I want all the parent of it. Right. All the parents. How to give slash parent colon colon star. Suppose if I give. Right. It will give all the parents. See, first, it has only one. That's all right. Sorry. All the parents means what tag we have to use? What X? Ancestor, right? Ancestor, right? All the ancestor. Uh, okay, I will come to last one. Okay, now I am at the div. Right, what is the parent of A tag? First one is the div tag, right? First one is the div tag. Next one is first one is a parent of AI is right here. Parent of AI is a div tag. Then LI. What is the LI parent? UL. Right, what is the parent of UL? A div tag. Right, div tag. Like this, it will go to the top position. Right, head the div and then body and then execute. Right, all the parents it will do. Ancestor. Suppose if you want a particular element, suppose I want a body. Out of all the parents, I want a body. Right, if you mention the specific tag name, it will return only that parent. Right, similarly, if I want a descendant, see, right, because this tag don't have a descendants. Right. A tag don't have any child, right? Suppose if I move to one more parent, okay? This parent has now child, right? Then we can give descendant. What is the spelling of it? D C N S C E N descendant, right? This debut tag, how many has childs? Only one, right? This debut tag only one. Suppose if I move to L, like one more parent above, then do the descendant. How many are there? Two. Li has two. Suppose if I move to one more level parent. Now, how many are there? 96 childs are there. Right. This UL has 96 childs. Right. Descendant means all the child types. Right. Ancestor means all the parents. Descendant means all the childs. Right. Following and preceding means we will rarely use. Right. Suppose I am at the A tag. Right. Now I want all the below tags. Right. Following colon colon suppose star. Right. See all the below tags it will give. How many are there? 2600. Right, above one. Suppose I want above one preceding. Right, 50, 50. Right, all the above tags means preceding, all the below tags means following. Right, these are the XPath exercise. Right, we have to practice. Right, if you practice more, then only we will understand more. Right, tomorrow also we will see, right, a few more examples on this XPath, how to identify. Suppose if we have a tables. Right, now I want to identify based on the country I want to click on, or I want to click on the checkbox. I want to click on the click. Right, how to identify these scenarios. Right, we will see this tomorrow's class. All right, anyone has anything? Any questions? Or